Well, this is my wife, Sabrina Gidley. I'm Tim Gidley. We've been married for 23 years. We've been in ministry. I've been in ministry, just celebrated 25 years of ministry. And during that time, I have collected some wonderful friends, one of them being this couple, Steve and Gina Merritt, and then even met Onyx way back in the Juice days, and Regis and Jody Andrews. And that's how we heard of this thing. And I go through that simply because this is a relationship business. As Onyx has said, this is a contact sport. So you can't go off into a corner somewhere and hide and expect to build this thing. You got to put a smile on and be excited. And the way you get excited is by being a product of the product. You wear the product, wear it on the back of your neck, or wear it, under your belly button there. Or if you really want people to notice, wear it on your wrists, or, I've seen some wearing it on their forehead. I'm not going that far yet. But if it requires to hang this sucker from both of my ears and my nose, I'm going to do it. It's wonderful. And I guess that reminds me, I had a lady tell me the other day she does not have dry sinuses anymore because of the patch. And really, to build this thing, I have found out that it's from me less talking and actually more listening to people. There's a way that you do this, and it's 3-3-1. But you really do the 3-3-1 by listening. People will tell you what is important to them. And I found out in networking that if I really turn on more of finding out what's important to the other person, it's very easy for us as a couple to be able to slide this patch life, because this thing is very, very easy to really be able to do. Like I said, it's a contact sport, and you got to open your mouth. And I remember one time I had a friend of mine told me, he says, if Barbra Streisand burped, he'd buy the album. Okay, fan. So I say that because you can't say anything wrong to the right person. You can't say anything right to the wrong one. You can be a pro, you can be Steve and Gina Merritt, but if their mind is not open, they're not going to do it. But I find that today, most people have asked me, I've had a lot of people ask me when I show them the patch, they just get in my face like, can you make money with this? And you know what? And, I just got to give a big old salute out to Uncle Joe and the whole thing that's going on out there with this inflation, because it's open to what's going on. So you have to understand that people are open. They may not know that they're open, but they're open. If you come and you're excited and you're excited and confident about what you have, and if you've wore this patch, it doesn't take much. That's the reason why so many people that open their mouth are winning. I've got people on my team that are in their 80s that are going, man. I got people I got a 77-year-old that sponsored 15, 16 people. I've got a 67-year-old. They're directors, they're managers. And in fact, I had some people that I was with this whole week in Flagstaff, and they have a beautiful place in Flagstaff. And I sat out on the porch with my phone, looking at God's beautiful green earth and the mountains. And finally, at the end of the week, they said, is that really all you have to do to build this? I said, yeah, sit down, get comfortable, and start contacting people and love on people. I sat down with the attorney that this week. I sat down with the attorney that brokered the move of the St. Louis Rams back to LA. And I walked into his office and he said, Tim, how's it going, man? I said, let's sit down. And I just, bam, put the patches down on his desk. I'm sharing this with everybody that I love and that I like. And you fall in there somewhere. I'm not sure where it is. And he just started laughing. And I said, listen, I got to tell you, man, reduced pain, reduced inflammation, more sleep. And he just kind of raised his hand. He goes, all right, I'm in. What do I got to do? Of course I want to sleep. Of course I want less pain. Of course I want to get rid of inflammation. And so obviously I had some patches. I have these little baggies that I use that I go over to Michael's or Hobby Lobby where they sell little jewelry and stuff. And I put the patches in there so it's convenient for them, and you can put a mess of them in here. And I put it in with a brochure that I had, one of the little brochures here, lists all the different little things that's a possibility that might do in your body. And then I told him, I said, this is what you do. You put them here, whatever you want. I'm going to text you. Is it all right if I text? Because if I don't, you're going to forget. So I just text people that I've got on the patch, and I text them about 8 a.m. in the morning. Of course, I got their permission. Can I remind you? And so I just say, hey, put your patch on, LOL, and make it fun. don't forget to put your patch on. I've got people running back into their house from the driveway with their coffee in the car on the way to work, running back in to go put their patch on because it's a oh yeah moment. So I'm just helping people remember, and it's fun. I tell people we've already got jobs. Most people have jobs. We don't need a second one. This is something that's fun. And if you care about people, it just makes sense. And when you open your mouth, like I had one of my directors the other day told me, says she was standing in line at the grocery store. And it's a great example. First, she had the patches on her. The lady looked at her and said, man, my hip sure does hurt. And she goes, yeah, I've got friends of mine whose hip used to hurt too. Well, she goes, well, what do you mean used to? What'd they do? Oh, it's this little patch. You ever heard of stem cells? And before the lady was out of the store, she was wearing a patch, some other patches, took them home to her husband, and her husband put it on. And I think, what was it? Hey, within 2 hours? Within 2 hours, he was a retired minister. Within 2 hours, he was able to get up out of his chair and do things that he wasn't able to do. And he refused. His wife said, well, it's been 12 hours. Let me take this off. He said, I'm not taking this thing off until you have another one to replace it. And so they called her and she signed him up, and you know, they're wearing it and they're experiencing life. They're able to get out and do things again. So, you know, it's basically, another thing that's really been successful with me is if you use something that people are familiar with to help introduce them to something they're not familiar with, it's very helpful. And the thing that I heard, I think I've heard both all you guys, I think I heard Dr. Schmidt talk about it too, but being able to help people understand light technology and frequency, but, excuse me, by being out in the sun. I'll tell people, I said, this, you know, what do you do to go out in the sun to get vitamin D, right? And they're like, yeah, well, when you're out there, it hits your skin. Nerves send a signal to the body. The body knows what to do. God made this thing very, very smart. And we're doing what? We're making vitamin D. I said, it's the same thing. You put this patch on, your infrared goes up in there, hits those crystals, sends it right back in, elevates the copper peptide, wakes up some stem cells, and you're feeling like you're 25 again. That's what I tell people. I feel like I'm 25 again. So when I steps in, because I'm twice around the house because I'm 25 again. Do you understand? So, she's getting in shape, I'm getting in shape, everybody's getting healthy. But to be able to help people understand that the same way as the body's making vitamin D, the body is using this amazing technology that we have, and to be able to get healthier. And I love the word individualized. I think Onyx said that very early, and I grabbed a hold of that because people ask me, said, well, what's this going to do for me? I said, well, outside of the things that I've told you, you know, sleep, reduce pain, you know, hair. I said some of the tremendous things like your heart. After 6 weeks or so, it starts acting like it's 2 years younger than it was, your cardiovascular system. I even noticed when I was in Flagstaff, every time I go to Flagstaff, you know, that's like 8,000 feet above where I'm normally living. And when I go there, the first 2 days I'm there, my body usually tries to acclimate. I get up out of the chair and I'm like, you know, it's just hard. I noticed that this time I never had that. I noticed that after 2 months, I went into Flagstaff with the patch. And I would wake up, I went walking, I was talking on the phone, doing what I'm doing here, and I never got out of breath. And I was like, wow, this thing has really helped my cardiovascular system. People are looking at me and saying, hey, Tim, you've lost weight. You're not the blimp that you used to be. And I just, this thing has gone into my digestive system, and I out for some reason, even though I'm a coffee worshiper, I'm kidding, but I love coffee. I find out that I'm only doing half a cup in the morning. I find out that I'm still eating the way I normally would eat, but I'm satisfied after just about half of it. These are testimonies that people bring up. Tim, you look better. I said, well, it's because of this patch. And usually I wear it on the back, so I'd like whip around, show them my neck, and they're like, what in the world is that? And so just telling them about the sun, making vitamin D, elevated copper peptide goes in, stirs up stem cells that have kind of gone to sleep with age. I say 30 years old, half of them are gone. 60 years old, good luck. You need a resurrection. So we wear these things. And so it's just been a lot of fun, you know, and people get it into their mind that they want to help people, that they love people, and to realize that everybody is trying to figure out how to make more money and to be healthy. And that we really do have an answer. And when I'm talking to people on the business side of things, that the people that go like, can we make money with this? This is the thing tell them, this is not a Me Too product. It's not a weight loss shake and your weight loss shake, and let's throw them in the middle and have a dog fight and see who gets to sponsor somebody. It's not that way. You can't go to CVS, you can't go to Walmart, you can't go to anywhere to get this except from somebody that is distributing this through Lifewave. So it really cuts the competition down. And then I'm telling them, hey, with 9.1% inflation, you've got retirees now that are coming out. You know, they don't want to stand and say, welcome to Walmart. I'd rather say, have you ever heard of stem cells? Yeah. That way you can make more money than what you were before you retired. And you can home with your feet propped up, looking at whatever, watching your favorite movie. You can do a Zoom sitting in shorts with a nice shirt on. You don't have to go there. Use the technology. The blessing of, and I'm just going to say it, the blessing of COVID was this. Everybody learned to Zoom, except for me. I couldn't get on today, but I'll do better. Everybody got a Zoom, and everybody is happy to see the UPS man show up to their door. Two components that make you a lot of money in this business. So there's no longer running off to do a lot of meetings. We do some, but not the way we used to have to. We've got the Zoom. We've got, you know, just the facts. You've got retirees coming out. You've got students now. I had a kid the other day that I love in Flagstaff, and I went to his grandmother's birthday party while I was there. He's a good friend of mine. He's just a kid, about 24. And I turned around and I said, hey, and I have a good relationship. So relationship status shows what you can do in this business. So what I did was I had a picture of my last commission, and then I had the patch, and he's 24. And I turned around and he goes, what is that? And then I picked up my commission, and he goes, I think I need to know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
beautiful.
Just fun with that. We were close. So I'm able to do that. I'm getting in my car the other day. The guy that helps me at the Acura dealership for an oil change, I just turned around and said, oh, hey, Solomon, do you know about stem cells? He goes, well, I've heard about them. And I just went through the thing. Hey, I'm sleeping better. I don't have any inflammation in my joints like I did. I have the energy to play with my kids. He said, stop you there. He said, how do I get some? I had some. I gave him some. So now he's wearing the patch. This is not hard. You have to get this in your head. This is not hard. I mean, we've got my son who's 17 and a half, and he's just, this kid can't wait to get a spot in Lifewave when he's 8. Why? Because he's just seen us that it's easy when you just love on people. And, you know, there's techniques. And of course, what you do with everything that I'm saying is you put it in the 331, put it in there. It's very easy to either talk to somebody, text somebody, send them a thing in Messenger if you know them, or any way you want to do it. And just, we're just putting some things up on Facebook, and I'm really amazed. I'm not an online guru, but we have people constantly, literally every day, probably 3 to 5 people. What is this? How can I get a hold of it? Can I get a sample? Can you send me some information? And that's the other part that we've been using is the Start X39. I don't talk people to death. I just give them like that thing that I was telling you, relate with the sun, body makes vitamin D, take them in how the patch works with light, elevates the copper peptide. And you can just tell people, hey, if you don't believe me, Google copper peptide. It'll tell you how this is. It's the holy grail of anti-aging. And so you're confident being able to say that. Say, hey, you don't believe me? Go to Uncle Google. He'll tell you. Yeah, I'm telling the truth. And so we do that. And, you know, when you do that and you put it in the system of 331, pretty soon you're doing a 662. Pretty soon you're doing a 993. It's just as fast because you become comfortable. And, you know, not everybody's a Gina, not everybody's a Steve, not everybody's me, but God made you to be you, and he didn't make you to fail. He made you to succeed. And the people that you have influence with will respond to you. And this is a fun business. People aren't going to get into this thing if you're constantly, well, have you ever heard of stem cells? I mean, if you have, you know, maybe next year together and I can show you, no, I don't wear them. I carry them sometimes. No, I have it right here. I'm carrying them in my pocket. I'm a little bit excited because people are sleeping. They don't have pain. They're looking younger. This thing brings up collagen in your body. I mean, my God, you're looking younger, your heart gets better, all these different things. And hey, by the way, do you got a horse? They're freaking out over the horse. It's hilarious. We've got pictures. I got a picture the other day coming out of Japan of some dog that had a cloudy eye, and like 10 days after, it was showing a 10 days after the 39 patch, the dog could see after the vet said, there's no way that we'll be able to restore sight. And this dog's not bumping into the couch anymore. So hallelujah for X39.
Wow.
Some people get in this because of the love of their dog. I don't get that, or their horse. But whatever, I've people that are hitting it from both sides. The owner and the horse, they're both on X39. So tell me if that doesn't help with volume.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So I don't know how long I've gone. I don't want to take too much time. Yeah, Sabrina wants to say something.
Hey, y'all.
Hi.
Hi. So I wanted to just to kind of click in on what Tim was saying. This guy is pretty amazing. And two of the things that I learned from him was, the first thing is open your mouth. He just really taught me, don't listen to that little voice in your head that lies to you and says, don't say anything. They don't want to hear it. They don't. Always open your mouth. When you see someone that you can help, open your mouth. When you see someone that think, oh, I could help them make some money, I could help them feel better, go ahead and open your mouth and just put it out there fearlessly. Yeah. And then the second thing that I learned from him, and this really helps, is when you're signing someone up or someone's interested, go ahead and get their information and you be the one to put them in.
Yeah.
It really makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, totally. You grab the information, you put it in. I think the last thing that I'd like to say before we jump off here is we've got a lot of doctors, we've got a lot of PAs in our business, got a lot of chiropractors, and I'm not qualified to talk to those people on their level, but we've got this little beautiful thing in the scientific side, the scientific papers in the website that literally I tell them, I'm upfront with them, so there's no way I'm going to be able to talk to you. You're a doctor from the standpoint of the body. But we do have this link I can send you that has 100 patents and over 80 scientific studies, and you guys can read it to your heart's content. And then I'll get somebody on the phone if you need these kind of questions really answered. But what I can do is tell you what I've seen and heard over the last 78 days of how people put this patch on and their lives get changed. Sometimes it's one day, sometimes it's 7 days, sometimes it's 3 weeks, but all of their pain leaves and it makes a difference. And we've sponsored a lot of doctors and chiropractors and nurses and PAs with that very thing. So I'm saying that don't be intimidated because you've got the tools to be able to send you to Aruba. You just have to open your mouth up and use those tools and say, hey, I don't know everything, but I do done. And I'm going to send you this link and you can read everything that you need to read. So just have fun with it. Open your mouth, get comfortable, find out, people ask me what I do. I said, well, I broker affordable stem cell technology. Really? How do you do that? Well, it's a little patch. So I just learned that little statement. I broker or I offer affordable stem cell technology. And they're like, well, that's great. And it helps to be able to introduce it into any kind of a situation, whether you're on an elevator or you're on a plane or anything like that. And it's like, well, how does that work? List what this little thing does. And I guarantee you, they're going to be like, I would like to sleep better. I would like to get rid of inflammation. I wouldn't. And so people that don't sleep talk to people that don't sleep when they start to sleep. I've seen people that are winning in this thing that have never won in anything else. And it's because the technology works. It's easy to talk about. And all of us on this team are extremely fun people to hang out with. So why would
that was
all
good.
Right. That's what
that was excellent. Hey, you know what? It seems to me like what Sabrina was mentioning too is that you've got the application either ready or you're putting them right in as you're speaking with them. The application is a great, and it's right on our team site, qfteambiz.com. Somebody asked me the other day where the order form was. And I just said, hey, it's right here. And I copy a link and send them to them because that's what Onyx did to us when we started. You just show the people where all the information is. But I love the application because at least then you can go home and type them in and you've got it right there. So whenever you have your patches, I even like when I send a sample of sleeves with our sample envelopes, I make sure that I put an application in there because people like to look at it and feel it. When you're talking to them, they can see what the different packages are. and get signed up. But I love that, Sabrina, that you're right there and you're ready to put them in. You're not wondering, and because ask to, you tell them, let's get you in, let's get you some let's get you these patches so we can reactivate your stem cells.
Well, one thing that, Steve, with people that start off saying that they wanted to be a customer, I've just told them, I said, well, are you dead set to be a customer, or are you open to the business? They said, well, if this works, I'd probably be open to the business. I said, boom, let's get a silver kit. Let's get you a spot. And then after you've tried it for 30 days, you're probably going to have 930,000 people underneath you. And to start your business with great volume. If we say do that same 30 days with, say, a $99 deal, great, you got the response, but then you're starting just with nobody, 30 days later. So I said, and then you got a 30-day money back guarantee. So if on day 27 you feel like it hasn't done a thing for you, you still have 930,000 people that you can flush down the toilet. Just get your money. Everybody looks at me and goes, I can't argue with that logic. Just the people that know they're not ever going to do the business sign up as customers. But when I pitch that silver kit, money back guarantee, while you're working, you're going to have people with things growing under you. And then, they get a feeling, and then they look and they say, my gosh, I've got 25 people underneath me. It's like, it really boosts people. So I don't have a lot of customers because of that, but man, do we have a lot of distributors that are on fire and are very excited about helping. So thanks for the opportunity, guys. We couldn't do it without you guys. You guys are a rocking upline. You've been available to me anytime that I call, day or night, and I appreciate it so much. And Onyx as well. We love you guys. We appreciate you very much.
Well, hey, you know what? I appreciate you guys coming on today and sharing with everyone, because it's the exact message that everybody needed to hear as far as how to reach out and start the conversation and get people started. Just put the patch on. Even if you don't know what to say, put the patch on, let it do the work.
And guess what they're doing when you do that, Steve? Can you make money with this?
That's the name of this Saturday teaching.
Can you make money with this? They ask you. Yeah. It's a different day as well. It's a different day because, like you said, because of COVID too, people are open to have a business from home. Okay, more than ever before. And with the economy that's going on right now, people are open to make money. And you've got a product that works this quickly. Like you said, your friend within 1 hour, he's feeling incredible. Bam, you're set.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
we're good. I love how you're so kind and loving to people, because that's such an attraction, where you're not like shoving it down their throat and like you're gonna just unfriend them. You sincerely care, because every single person in our cell phone needs the patch.
Right.
Because we all are stem cells, and that's what our body works off of, stem cells. It's like, hello.
Everybody, by telling them, hey, don't feel singled out. We're telling everybody that we love and like about this, and you fall in there somewhere.
I love that. Excellent.
I don't know which one you are, but it's one of them.
Yeah.
I love you, and I can't tell you I like you, but you're somewhere in. Disarms this whole thing, and I said, if you don't want to do this, fine. It's no big deal. I'm just a messenger. I just want to make sure that you know about this. And I plan on my family being right in the midst of this thing going to 1 billion. And I want my have 300 or 400, 500, 900 million of it in my team. I'm not being, I'm leaving 100 million to somebody else. But you just have to share this. And it's so easy to be able to share, because like when somebody's hopping in front of you, like that, well, what did you do? I wear this patch. That's, and it's very easy. People will tell you their problems. Hey, how are you doing today? A lot of people will then just open their mouth and actually almost ask for a patch. I might as well just let me give you a patch before you start talking to me, because you're going to say something that requires this patch. The mental clarity, just being able to process information. I look at my son and see how his acne is gone. I look at Alicia in St. Louis, and her son asks for the patch every morning because because of all the eczema and things on his skin, she had to wash his shirts like twice a day from the blood stains. No longer. That stuff is retreating. He's got confidence going to school now. People are asking, dude, what's going on with your skin? It's really going out. Well, my mom's doing this patch thing. You ought to tell your parents about it. It's just, when it comes down to knowing that we've got kids that are going to school and they don't have to feel ashamed, that's worth, early in the thing, when I had a little bit of fear, I have a picture on my phone of my kids. Anytime I'm getting ready to call somebody that might make my knees shake, or and I look at my kids and I think about my kids, you know, being able to do the things that they need to do, being able to send them where they need to, be able to provide for them the way they need to. And it takes me to another level. It takes us to another level of like, I'm not going to be afraid of that. My kids are taken care of. We're going to be big in this. We're going to do what we have to do to enjoy being around the people. We're going to earn the right to be around winners. We're going to earn the right to go on the trips. And to be able to take people with us. It's fun to win, but just like Steve and Gina from their last venture, they were winning, but other people weren't. And the thing that makes this fun is to be able to take people with you. It's just like heaven. Heaven's great, but we're called to help take other people with us. And that's what we're to take other people with us.
Great job. Appreciate you guys sharing.
Thank you
Bless you guys.
so much.